Hello again everybody, this is Gusto. It has been too long since I've made a new video. I've been busy this summer with my kids, them being out of school. Now they're back in school, so I've got a lot more time. Went on vacation with my wife, it's been great, but time to get back to production. Anyway, today I'm going to be reviewing a 24-hour freeze-dried cold weather ration that's produced by MRE Mountain. If you haven't been to their store, check them out. They've got a lot of great variety, some unusual stuff, international rations, those sorts of things. And these menus of the freeze-dried rations are available through that shop as well. As a disclaimer, I have no affiliation with MREmountain.com. It's just a source that I use for a lot of the more unusual rations. He's a good guy, treats me right, so I'm going to review his stuff. I'm not obligated to provide a positive review or anything like that. I'm just going to tell you how it is. If we take a look at this thing, it's in a clear plastic bag. It's pretty good size. It is actually pretty lightweight for the amount of contents that's in there. We take a look at the menu there. The mains there, the blueberry granola, chili, beef shepherd's pie, and then there's the extras on the side there, including a pepperoni pizza. So it looks like a good assortment of food, a lot of stuff in there. And we'll take a look at the individual contents. So let's look a little bit closer at this contents listing. The back side actually shows all of the different menus. And if you want to pause there and read those, there is the listing of the different menus that are offered by MRE Mountain. So we'll start with the mains. The first thing we have is the breakfast item, which is the blueberry granola with milk. You can read the ingredients there, nutritional facts. And these are all produced by Custom MRE, and you can look them up at custommre.com. Same with the other mains. We have chili for the lunch portion. Again, Custom MRE. There's the ingredients and nutritional information. Next is beef shepherd's pie. There is the Bridgeford pepperoni pizza. Package of tortillas. All-day tropical trail mix. Got a package of chocolate peanut spread. It's good stuff. It's a Nature Valley granola bar. This is a chocolate ration out of an Australian ration pack. And then a dessert. It's listed as a Swedish chocolate messy cake. Looks interesting. For the beverages, there's a tropical punch and an orange drink, both in the resealable canteen pouch style. Those are also produced by Custom MRE. There's a packet of tea. Also comes with an accessory pack. Just in a clear package. You can see the contents there. We'll open it up. Nice long spoon. Not quite as sturdy as a US MRE spoon, but again, this is a civilian product. But it's good and long, so it'll reach down to the bottom of those pouches. Napkin, moist towelette, coffee, creamer, sugar, salt and pepper, package of Smarties, pack of hot sauce. This also comes with toothbrush and toothpaste, nice touch, and MacGyver's multi-tool. And for breakfast, we'll have the blueberry granola with milk, as well as the all-day tropical trail mix. Doesn't seem like a lot, but this represents 1,300 calories, not including the sugar in the coffee. So this would be more than adequate for a very filling breakfast. And the trail mix would probably keep you going all day. It's got a lot of nuts and fruit in there, so there's some quick energy in the sugars in the fruit, but then some longer burn with the protein and the fats in the nuts there. So this is actually a very calorie-heavy meal. We'll take a look at the blueberry granola. There again, you can see the ingredients. Watch out, it contains gluten, not safe in California. So there we go. You can kind of see some milk powder in there, a lot of oats. It's got a nice, sweet, fruity scent. The instructions are to add 2 ounces of water. We'll do that in just a minute. Next we'll take a look at the trail mix, and this is all day trail mix. It's got a nice pouch, tear notch there, and then a resealable closure right below there. So you can reclose this thing and keep eating it all day. Get that open. can see lots of granola, dried fruit in there, a lot of nuts. Looks tasty. Pour some of that out here. Save the rest for later. Next we'll prepare the coffee. And this is a brand that you'll find in some of the US MREs and then also some domestic civilian MREs, the deep rich instant coffee. And you can see that it's a fine powder rather than crystals. Add some hot water. While I'm at it, a couple ounces into this too. Go ahead and add the sugar. And creamer. And go ahead and mix this granola up a little bit. It smells really nice. Give the coffee a stir as well. Okay, so let's start with the main item, and this is the granola with blueberries and milk. As you can see, it's kind of rehydrated. It's got this creamy kind of purple liquid there, and the granola in there as well. There you can see it up close. That's actually pretty tasty. The liquid is very creamy, fruity. It's pretty sweet, so you can tell there's a lot of sugar in it. Nice crunch from the granola. And it is pretty dense. The ingredients list shows whey protein and cream, so there's a lot of fat, a lot of protein in this. Actually, it lists 14 grams of protein in this main. The fruit flavor is fairly natural, and that is because it's not just a blueberry flavoring, there's actual dried blueberries in there, so that's a nice touch. Good flavor, very good stuff. Next, we'll take a look at the trail mix. You can see big bits of granola, dried pineapple, peanuts, almonds, cashews, and some dried bananas. So there you go, good assortment of dried fruit, granola, very calorie dense foods, just good for giving you sustained energy throughout the day. And the flavor that's really good. I think the peanuts are honey roasted peanuts. It seems like there's some sort of coating on them, and they're kind of sweet. But the dried fruit is very good. Especially the pineapples. I love dried pineapple. It's good stuff. So, very good item. And again, supplying well over 800 calories. That should last you all day. We'll finish up with the coffee. Again, this is the deep rich instant coffee with 1 sugar and the creamer. And that's not bad. It's not a particularly bold coffee, but it's pretty smooth. It's not bitter. Certainly nothing wrong with that for an instant coffee. So that finishes breakfast. Finish the rest of this up and move on to lunch. Alright, moving on to lunch. And before I talk about the lunch items, I'm gonna answer a question that I get every single video that I post. And the question is, do you eat all the food that you display? And the answer is, I don't waste food, or I really try not to waste food. I usually shoot these 24-hour reviews over the course of a couple of days just because the volume of food is so much. This is no different. I'm shooting this over the course of 2 days because there's so much food. And in general, I do try to finish whatever I have out on the plate. If I don't like it, I just don't eat it. The dry goods, I tend to save some for later, but the mains, I tend to eat as much as I put out. So there's your answer. Anyway, for lunch, we have chili as the main item. And again, this is one of the custom MRE packaged items. There is a package of tortillas, and this packaged by Bridgeford. To go along with that, chocolate peanut spread. There's a Nature Valley granola bar, bar of chocolate, and an orange drink. First things first, we need to rehydrate the main item, and this is chili. If you look on the instructions, it says to add 8 ounces of hot water and let it sit for about 20 minutes. Again, this is a freeze-dried item. If we look at the differences between this and the ones that come in the long-range patrol rations, it seems to be about a similar volume of food in there, similar caloric content. It's not vacuum sealed, but the freeze drying process should preserve this pretty well. This is a pretty thick package. It's kind of a heavy multi-layer foil pack. There's not a tear notch or anything on here, so we'll just cut it open. Take a look there. There's a lot of powdered sauce in there. Looks like there's some beans and freeze-dried, probably ground beef in there as well. So it's got a really strong chili powder scent. Again, this takes 8 ounces. Add that directly into the pouch. We'll give that a stir. Make sure we get way down into the corners. There's not any dried bits. Fold that over. This did come with a paper clip. I'm going to use that to close that pouch. Set it aside. Next we have some tortillas. Again, these are Bridgeford. Comes with 2 tortillas and they're pretty soft. Nice and fresh product. This ration pack was produced earlier this month. Along with that, we've got some chocolate peanut spread, Nature Valley granola bar, some of that out, and the Australian chocolate ration. This is exactly the same as you would see in an Australian ration in one of the CR1M or PR1M. And this one looks to be in fantastic shape. Very fresh. No blooming or anything like that. No oxidation that I can tell. Looks pretty good. Next we have the orange drink. It's kind of in this canteen pouch. Tear off the top. It's got an inner zipper seal. Calls for 12 ounces of water. Get that sealed up. Fold that over just for extra luck. Give it a shake. Get that into a cup. You can drink it directly out of the pouch. It has kind of a handle side thing there for easy handling. You could drink it straight out of there, but just for purposes of showing it, put it in this glass. Alright, so we've given that about 20 minutes to reconstitute. Take a look and see how we've done here. There you go. Kind of soupy. So, Bumblebee bowl. Alright, let's see. Smells good. So there you have it. There is lunch. So again, this is the chili. And you can see in here there's onions, there's lots of beans. Looks like ground beef in there as well. I'll show you up close. So there you go. A little bit soupy, but smells good. Yeah, that's not bad. There's a really strong onion flavor, almost kind of a sweetness to it as well. There's a decent amount of spice. It's not hot, but there's a decent amount of spice. It's certainly not bland. If anything, it may need just a few extra minutes, more than that 20 minutes that it calls for. There still are some dry bits, especially with the beans. The ground beef, the pieces of that are very small, and they don't actually add a whole lot to the texture. But overall, not bad at all. We'll move on to the tortillas. Again, these are the Bridgeford flour tortillas. They're nice and soft, very fresh. Try it by itself first. And that's good. It's soft, but it's not dry. Good flavor. Yeah, not bad at all. Let's try some with the chili. That'll work well. Yeah, that's good. Those flavors go really well together. And actually, if I had to add to this ration, a pack of crackers would go really well. in the chili. They would kind of mute the really strong chili powder flavor and add a little bit more texture and bulk it up. So that would be a good addition. On the tortillas also, we can try some of this chocolate peanut spread. So here's that. It's pretty thick, a little bit thicker than peanut butter. Got a nice chocolatey scent to it. A little bit liquid up there on top. I probably should have needed this, but I was counting on it being really fresh. Wouldn't require it. Anyway, it's really thick paste. There you go. Yeah, that's very good. Very nice peanut buttery flavor to it with a little bit of chocolate. It's stronger in the peanuts than it is the chocolate flavor. That's really tasty. Probably should have kneaded this a little bit better. It's a little thicker than it should be. Anyway, moving on to the Nature Valley granola bar, and this is the oats and honey. And these are widely available, so you pretty much know what you're going to get with this. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's a really tasty granola bar. Packs a lot of energy, a lot of quick energy with the sugars in there, but then there's a decent amount of fat and protein in there too, so that'll go a long way. Take a taste of our orange drink. You can see it's a translucent orange beverage. Not much scent to it. I would recommend adding a little bit less than 12 ounces to that, probably 10 ounces. It's a little bit weak, but it does have kind of a light citrus flavor to it, but that would work quite well. There's no electrolytes in it. It just kind of tastes like an orange Kool-Aid more than anything. We'll finish off with the chocolate bar. This is, again, the Australian Ration chocolate bar. It's a pretty decent size, 50 grams of chocolate, and it kind of looks like a milk chocolate rather than dark chocolate. And that's just as I remember it from the last time I had an Australian Ration. As far as cocoa, there's not a ton of chocolate in there. It's a pretty low percentage of cocoa from what I can tell. It is a milk chocolate, so it is creamy, and it's very highly sweetened. So a lot of quick energy there. Taste is overall not bad at all. It is chocolatey, but again, not really rich in the cocoa, but overall, not a bad chocolate bar. So that's lunch. I'm gonna finish this up, and we'll move on to dinner a little bit later. So we have made it to dinner, and for dinner we have the beef shepherd's pie, the pizza, the chocolate mess cake, tropical punch, some tea, and I have some hot sauce for the shepherd's pie. We'll get the main item opened up and rehydrating. Again, this is the beef shepherd's pie. Similar package to the chili main item. Looks like there's a bunch of vegetables in there. Looks like a soup base. Or that may be potatoes. Yeah, I think that's potatoes. Alright, this calls for 16 ounces of water. Quite a bit more than last time. That's probably to reconstitute all the potatoes and vegetables. Get all that in there. We'll give that a stir. Use that again. It worked pretty well last time. This says to set it aside for about 12 to 14 minutes. Get the rest of the items out. There's the pepperoni pizza. I'm sure by now everybody's seen this. I reviewed this as a comparison video not too long ago. And that's what that looks like. Rectangular piece of bread. It kind of looks a lot like the wheat snack bread that you've seen before. There's some cheese and pepperoni bits. Next is the Swedish chocolate messy cake. So it looks like a large brownie, but it's kind of pasty. So it'll be interesting to see what that's like. Carefully open this thing up. It's kind of technically difficult to open. See if we can get it to come out in one piece. Ah, there you go. Yeah, we'll just put it there. Next we have the Tropical Punch beverage. Similar package to last time. Tear notch at the top. Zip seal on just below there. Calls for 12 ounces of water, but last one was pretty weak, so I'm going to add just about 10 ounces of water here. I'm going to give this a shake. Again, we'll get this into the glass. And lastly, we have some tea, Russian tea. There we go. Alright, so we've given this plenty of time to reconstitute. Quite a bit of it. Again, this took 16 ounces of water, and this is definitely a heavy package. And if you look on here, this supplies 830 calories, so very substantial. We'll give this another stir, just to make sure everything's mixed up. Kind of looks like a stew. It hasn't thickened up at all. It's just a lot of vegetables and kind of a thin liquid. Gonna use a little bit bigger bowl this time, because there's a lot of liquid in here. Let's see what this looks like. It looks more like a stew. There's no solid potatoes in there. Kind of wondering if that was just something to thicken up the broth. You can see pieces of beef in there, green beans, peas, and I know that this is supposed to be potatoes. I would have expected that to be a little bit thicker. So, kind of interesting. We'll start with that though. Try to get a little bit of everything. So green beans, corn, peas, and beef. Kind of in this thickened broth. Interesting. You know, the broth tastes like it's watered down. I'm curious if there's a mistake on here, if this is supposed to be maybe half as much water to actually get some potato texture in there. The green beans and the freeze-dried vegetables, they have good flavor, and there's really something to freeze-dried items. I mean, they're really well preserved just by the process, so they maintain a lot of their nutritional value and flavor once they're reconstituted. These vegetables are no different, though everything tastes a little bit bland because I think it's relatively watered down. As far as the beef goes, we get a couple of pieces of that. So this seems to be kind of a ground and formed beef. There's not any like particular grain to it. It's well reconstituted, has a little bit of a salty flavor, but the texture is not bad. I mean, it's maybe a little bit more spongy than a freshly cut piece of beef that has been freeze-dried, but the flavor is really not bad. A little disappointed about the watery nature of this. Kind of like, there we go. Well, there's some potatoes kind of settling down at the bottom, but again, I think this may be more suited to reconstitute in about maybe half as much water. And if anybody gets one of these menu number ones, use way less water. This needs to be a little bit thicker and would do well with some salt as well. We'll move on to the pizza. And again, I've tried this before. This is the new product for the US MREs that now have Pepperoni Pizza. Cheese and pepperonis there. And this is shelf stable, so it's ready to go at room temperature. It's a little bit better warm. Again, kind of a thick bread on the bottom. And that's pretty good. It's a strong tomato sauce. The texture of the cheese is nice. It's not hard or anything like that. And the pepperoni has a really good savory, maybe even a little bit spicy flavor to it. Overall, it's a good product. There's nothing wrong with that at all. If you heat it up though, it is a little bit softer. This is This is really bready, and the bread softens up and it's a little bit easier to eat. Interestingly enough, the cheese does not melt when you heat that up. Anyway, tastes good. And it's a good addition to this meal. Next we'll try some of this fruit punch, tropical punch. And again, I used about 1.5 ounces less water in this one than I did last time. So hopefully it's a little bit stronger. Translucent red, kind of a fruity Kool-Aid scent. Oh yeah, that's much better. It's pretty sweet, has a nice fruity flavor. 10 ounces is just about right on these. Next we'll try the Swedish messy cake, chocolate messy cake. And there you have it. It's just kind of a thin, floppy, very sticky, kind of moist piece of cake there. There you can see it in cross section. It is very soft and sticky on the surface. It smells great. Oh yeah, that's the best part of this meal. Really sweet, intensely chocolatey. It's like a really soft fudge cake. That is really tasty. Very rich, really strong cocoa flavor. That's very, very tasty. I like that a lot. And we'll finish up with the Russian black tea. So there you go. It's actually made a very dark, rich appearing tea. Strong scent of black tea. Looks pretty good. Oh yeah, that's very good. It's actually pretty strong as far as these ration teas go. A lot of them tend to be a little bit on the weak side, but this one is quite strong for that volume of water. That's about 6 ounces of water that was steeped in, so maybe it's for a little bit higher volume. It seemed to be a relatively large tea bag, but it's nevertheless a very good flavor, very strong tea. So very good way to round out the meal. Again, kind of disappointed in the shepherd's pie. I was kind of worried at the beginning about how much water it was going to take to rehydrate that, and I think it's a little bit overshot on the directions. I think maybe 8 or 9 ounces would have been appropriate there. At any rate, you can't go wrong with the MRE pizza, and that chocolate cake was fantastic. So I think with a little bit of tinkering with that water volume on the shepherd's pie, I think that could be a decent main. Especially if you add a little bit of salt, maybe some hot sauce, that would be really tasty. So that is it for the MRE Mountain 24-hour freeze-dried ration. Again, if you're interested in grabbing one of these, go to MREmountain.com. So as always, thank you very much to the viewers and subscribers on YouTube. Your support means so much to me. It allows me to donate to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital directly with the funds generated by this channel. So please continue to help me make that possible. To the Ration Review community on YouTube and MREinfo.com. As always, you guys are great. Thank you very much. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll be coming back very soon with a whole bunch more. So until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.